Good morning,
gentlemen.
everybody. This is a song to everyone we have lost in their memory. I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, minor fall and then major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Un ateo que consiguió creer, un hambriento hoy tiene de comer. Yo donaron a una iglesia una fortuna. Dio guerra pronto se acabará, que en el mundo al fin reinará la paz, que no habrá miseria alguna. Aleluya, aleluya. Baby, I've been here before. I know this room when I walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was tell the truth. I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord a song with nothing on my lips but hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Hello there and good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is. How you doing today? Excellent. We are Branden and James. I am Branden. This is my beautiful husband, James.
Hi.
I would like to take a moment to thank each one of you who is sitting here. You, and you over there, and you, and all of you, and you people on my right, the people in front of me, the people over there in the back. Thank you all. I am here today because all of you have fought tirelessly for my life. Let it be known that you are all heroes to me and heroes to many others just like me. Thank you for saving my life. My husband James is also a hero simply because he has to put up with all of my crap.
You have no idea. No idea.
I know, I'm living out a real-life fairy tale. I'm married to a charming, handsome Australian cellist who I just happened to meet on a dating app called Scruff. Don't tell anybody. And now we get to share our music with everyone around the world together for a living. Boy, did I luck out. In 2005, when I was diagnosed HIV positive at a clinic in West Hollywood in California. Hello, Weho. I began to foreclose on my life. I went back into the closet. I was ashamed to tell people who I really was. I couldn't see a future past my 40th birthday. I wasn't able to reach for my dreams. And I lived each day in fear, using alcohol and drugs as means to run from the reality that someday I might die from complications related to HIV. In 2006, I made probably the most regrettable mistake of my entire life. I transmitted the virus to my partner at the time. We were young and we were in love and we were making impulsive choices. We weren't making smart choices. At the time, my doctor told me, don't go on HIV meds yet until your blood work tells you that you need to. Things have changed. The world didn't know enough about HIV medications back then. So you all went out into the field. You went into laboratories, into sub-Saharan villages, into urban cities, all over the world. You researched and gathered up funds and manpower, and you made more discoveries about HIV. You helped create new treatments that were less toxic, easier on the kidneys, and less apt to cause things like depression and facial wasting. You uncovered a PR storm of information that would give people like me hope, a lot of hope, truly a new lease on my life. Growing up in conservative Orange County, California, hey Cali people, at that time I was taught to save myself for my future wife. I wasn't taught about sexual health. I was never told to wear a condom. I was only told not to have sex. And I was reminded every Sunday that the thoughts inside my head were impure and did nothing to glorify God. I was confused about my sexuality, and I was ashamed of who I was. I was convinced that I was going to hell, and I lived out this nightmare from the age of 12 to the age of 20 without a single person to confide in. But much to my delight and my surprise, it was music that found me, and music that saved me. In 2013, although I wasn't comfortable enough at that time to share my journey with HIV, I was comfortable enough to talk about the hole that was created in my family when I identified as gay. So when I appeared on America's Got Talent on national TV, I shared stories of those 14 years where I was estranged from my closest network, my beautiful family. When I appeared on TV for the first time, it's as if my family literally began to see me through a new lens. Over the course of the 9 months when I made it to a finalist on AGT, our relationships began to heal right before our very eyes. Letters poured in on Facebook and Twitter from kids all over the world. Some of those kids were from places like Russia and Egypt who reached out to me in fear that if they told anyone who they really were, that they might end up in prison or they might end up dead. Some letters were from others who had been kicked out of their families all over the U.S., who were struggling with their sexuality. Parents began flooding my inbox, asking me how I can help them approach their kids with their sexuality. In 2014, I was here in Washington, D.C., appearing at the Cherry Blossom Festival. And after my 90-second singing stint on local TV, a perfect stranger came up to me. And he said, "Branden, you are an agent of change. Keep telling your stories. Keep sharing your truth with us. It is a force for good." I had an epiphany that day, and I realized the power I had. I understood for the first time that it was my calling to lead a life of authenticity and transparency. I realized that by simply offering a piece of my own story, I had the power to help potentially thousands of others. So I started blogging on our website. I wrote about the struggles I've had in getting my medications cleared through customs when I lived for several months in Portugal. I wrote about the times as a traveler all over the world of what it was like to cross into the border of China or the United Arab Emirates, worried that someone might check my bag, discover that I was HIV positive, and send me home, or worse. I wrote about all these important things and professed about my own depression and the cathartic process of learning how to truly love myself for the first time and realize that God does not discriminate. God is here for everybody, and He loves everybody. Those blogs inspired many who read them, and not long ago I was commissioned by Simon & Schuster to write a memoir about my life. I spent the last year and a half on my bed in tears, putting pen to paper, writing this account. I sat there, and this handsome man endured all of it with nothing but a warm smile on his face and a soothing rub of my shoulders.
Yeah, that was it. That was my role.
If I didn't do a shameless self-promoting plug of my book while I'm up here, you probably wouldn't believe I was a real artist, because that's what we have to do. There are cards in your backpacks and some cards on your table. The book that I wrote is called Lyrics of My Life, and it is available for pre-order on Amazon today. And if you order it, you even get a 30% discount. So have at it, people. My journey is one of millions, and by most standards, it is a story of triumph, and a story with an ending that is much happier than the stories of so many others. Thank you for giving me the ability to see past my 40th birthday. I'm now 41, so there is no turning back. You've allowed me to thrive in a healthy relationship with my husband without the fear of infecting another person, because as James told me when we met 5 years ago, if he'd met me just a year sooner, he probably would have run the other direction. But he didn't, because people like you fought to educate people like him on what it means when we say undetectable equals untransmittable. That's right. I am so grateful that I am here today. I'm here today because of all of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, so we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. Won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Hits my skin, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, yeah, that's what we become. Won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are when the sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. And I know that I deserve your
Help a brother out.
love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown him out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Branden and James.
This is me. This is us. We are the next generation. We are the generation that's going to end the HIV epidemic. All of us here in this room. Thank you. Thank you.